Hello students, welcomes you in 11th science class of MG Shah Vidya Mandir and Junior College Bahubali. All of you have the member of 11th science WhatsApp group now, and the few instructions and messages are given on the WhatsApp group about the admission process, about the submission of documents, as well as online studies. And here online studies are started from 23rd August Monday, and you have received few videos of English and Marathi on that WhatsApp group, and all of you have received the timetable of the online studies or online videos which is given on the WhatsApp group, and few instructions are also given to you. Then I hope that you will follow that instructions strictly. Then while watching the online videos, you should have your own textbooks and notebooks with you. We have given the PDF of subjects on WhatsApp group also. You may use that PDF for studies. Then while watching the videos of subjects, then you should dictate the notes. That means you should prepare the notes in your notebook while watching those videos. Then please take your notebooks and textbook and write the instructions and content which we will dictate with you. And once again welcomes you all in this lecture. Then I will going to discuss you about the content of the syllabus of chemistry. Paper format I will send you on WhatsApp group. You may write the paper format of chemistry subject in your notebook. First, we will discuss on the textbook of chemistry of Maharashtra State Board, that is published by Balbharti. Then first of all, we will discuss on the syllabus of the chemistry or the 11th science. Then first of all, see here that front page and last page of that chemistry textbook. Observe the figures and diagrams which is given on the front page and last page of the chemistry textbook. Then see here on front page that periodic table which is given you. All of you aware of that periodic table Avarta Sarni. All of you studied the chapter periodic table in 10th standard also. And here that periodic table which contains different types of elements. Now you have to understand all content in English. Then see here on front page there is one more picture which is given of that hexagonal structure, that is like a pipe which having a hexagonal rings on it, and that is the structure of graphene. See here there are few figures which is given on the front page, that is gaseous substance. All of you have studied about that in states of matter. That states of matter, every matter is in 5 states: solid, liquid, gaseous, plasma state is there, fourth one, plasma state is there, and Bose-Einstein state. All of you studied about that in 9th standard. Then in states of matter you will study about the solid, liquid and gaseous states. Then see here, there are few figures or diagrams which is given on the last page also. See here, on the last page there are few glasswares are given here. The glasswares, all of you have already handled those glasswares. We have the knowledge of those glasswares, for which purpose those glasswares are used, and those glasswares are required for different experiments and technologies, and in the research work also, in the laboratory. You will also handle those glasswares while doing the practicals in the laboratory. Then we will discuss about the syllabus which is given in this textbook. See here, on the next page there is QR code which is given on the third page, as well as on the last but one page QR code which is given you. If you scan that QR code with the help of scanner or with the help of mobile, then you will obtain or you can download the Diksha app as well as more e-learning material which is related with the syllabus of each topic given in the chemistry textbook. You may use that e-learning material by scanning that QR code for more practice. There are few activities are given in each topic. You should follow those activities given in the textbook. There are few concepts which is given in each topic. See there, remember, there are some box are given in the middle of the content of each topic, in which there are few extra knowledge is given about that content or about the that topic. Then see here, the few activities which are given here, that is remember, try this, can you recall, can you tell me, use your brain, do you know, as well as find out, then just think, and few concepts are given, observe and discuss. That means you have to observe the few content which is given in that box, which is given in each topic, and you have to discuss with your friends as well as with your teachers. There are few colored diagrams are given there. Colored pictures are given in the textbook to make that textbook interesting. Then in the content of the each topic of the chemistry, there are few charts, tables, color diagrams which is given in the textbook. There is exercise which is given at the last of the topic. You should solve the exercise after completing the topic. And few activities are also given to you. You should do that activities while studying the topics or contents of the chemistry. Then see here, there are few numerical examples. The solved numerical examples which is given in the textbook, and few numerical examples which is given you in the exercise. You should solve those examples also after completing the topic. As well as there are few laws which is related with chemistry, that is laws of chemical combination or gas laws which are given, and that laws which is related with the scientist. Pictures of those scientists are also given in your textbook. That is about the textbook of chemistry of Maharashtra State Board, which is published by Bal Bharati. Then we will discuss about the syllabus, that is topics which is given in the chemistry syllabus. First of all, see here, there are total 16 topics are there. Then we will get the knowledge of contents which is given in those topics in short. Then see here, first topic, some basic concepts in chemistry. See here, in this chapter, in this topic, very basic concept which is given here, that is about here what is chemistry, branches of chemistry. Chemistry, there are different branches of chemistry, that is organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, analytical chemistry, industrial chemistry, polymer chemistry, agrochemistry, biochemistry, environmental chemistry. Different branches of chemistries are there. Then in the first chapter we will study about the matters, the substance. Common salt is one of the matter, paint is matter, plastic, rubber, those are the matters. And there are classification of matters are given here. The matters which is found in the nature, cloth, paint, plastic, rubber, stone, soil, as well as food, clothing, those all are the matters or substances which we used in everyday life. Those are classified into different categories according to the chemistry. Then those substances, it may be elements. Elements, the metals which you used, gold, silver, copper, zinc, those are the elements. Carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, those are the elements. That means the substance are in different forms. It may be elemental form or it is compound form. Compound, संयुगे, that is compounds. NaCl is a compound. Methane is a compound. Ethane is a compound. Sodium nitrate, washing soda, baking soda, sodium carbonate, calcium carbonate, chalk powder, plaster of Paris. Water is a compound. Rockale is an organic compound. Paint is an organic compound. Polymer is an organic compound. That plastic is a organic compound. That means matters which are classified into different categories. That is elements. Elements which you found in again two groups, that is metals and non-metals. Metals, all of you are aware of that. Metals are there, lot of metals are there. You found those metals in the nature and which is given in the periodic table. You may observe the periodic table which is given in the at the last but 2 page of in this textbook, and you will find the metals which is given in the form of symbols in the periodic table which is given in your textbook. Then see here, there are copper, zinc, gold, silver, aluminium, sodium, potassium, calcium, barium, calcium. Those are the metals which is found in the nature, as well as few non-metals are there in the nature, that is carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, helium, neon, argon. Those are the few non-metals found in the nature, and those metal and non-metals are elements, Muldravya. Those are elements. Then more type of substances are there. We found the mixture, different types of mixtures, that is known as Mishran. Different types of mixtures are there. Mixtures are also of different types, homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. For example, brass. Brass is a mixture of copper and zinc. Stainless steel. Stainless is a alloy, or it is a mixture. It is a mixture of iron, carbon, chromium, nickel, etc. As well as there are different types of mixtures which you found in the nature, or you should make the mixtures of different compounds. For example, that is wood particles and soil you can mix with each other. Wood particle, that is bhusa, and that is soil, mati. You can mix those two and make the mixture. As well as you can make the mixture of sulfur powder and iron particles, and as well as you can prepare the mixture of that common salt, water, sugar and lemon juice, which is known as sarbat. Sarbat is a mixture. Then you can make the mixture of common salt as well as water. You can add the paint into rockale. That means those are the few examples of mixtures, and you may also prepare the mixtures in everyday life. This classification of substances given in the first chapter, as well as all of you studied about the units, that is standard units, that about that units and 7 fundamental units which is given in the first chapter. That is that units you used for the measurement. There are few physical quantities, that is, for example, mass. Mass is a physical quantity which you measured in kilogram. Mass, that is vastuman. Volume, akarman, which is measured in dm cube, liter, 2 liter milk, 3 liter milk, 5 liter water is there. That is volume. Volume, which is measured in dm cube or liter. Liter is a unit of volume. As well as Newton is a unit of force. As well as Newton per meter square is a unit of pressure. As well as Kelvin or degree Celsius is a unit of temperature. That means temperature you measured in degree Celsius. Laws which is related with chemical combination, which you have already studied in 9th standard, that are given in the first chapter, and we will study about that later. Then the second chapter, which is given here, Introduction to Analytical Chemistry and Basic Analytical Techniques. Here you can do the chemical analysis of any substance and the methods how to carry out the chemical analysis of that substance. That methods are given in the chapter number 2. Methods, or there are few ways to express the concentration of solution. All of you studied about that. The concentration of solution. There are different types of solutions. That is, acids are there. Acids are of different concentration. Base are there. Then you may observe those different type of chemicals in the laboratory, and you may observe the labels on that bottles of chemicals, and there is concentration of those chemicals are written on that labels of chemical bottles. That is 1 molar HCl, dilute HCl, concentrated HCl, 2% HCl, 2% H2SO4. That there are different ways to express the concentration of solution, which is studied in the chapter number 2. Then here basic analytical techniques in chapter number 3. There are few techniques of purification of substance. See here, every substance which is obtained in the nature, it is in impure form. For example, common salt, meat, which is obtained from seawater, which is impure. And impure, that means impurities are there, and we have to remove that impurities. The method of removing impurity that are given in the chapter number 3. That means there are methods of purification of substances are given in the chapter number 3. We use refined oil, we use refined salt, we use the substances, the pure substances, everyday life. And For purification, different methods are used. That is crystallization, crystal formation, sphatikikaran, crystallization, as well as distillation. All of you studied about the distillation in 8th standard. That is urdhvapatan, and that is the one of the method of purification of substance. There are few new technologies which is used for the purification of substances, that is chromatography and different types of chromatography, which is given in the chapter number 3. Then in chapter number 4, see here the structure of atom. All of you studied about that structure of atom. Atom is like a solar system, that is at middle nucleus is there, in which proton and neutrons are there, and around that electrons are revolving in a circular path. All of you studied about that, and the discovery of that atom takes place by Rutherford, Dalton, and their atomic models which are given here. That is Dalton's atomic model, Thomson's atomic model, Rutherford's atomic model, and Bohr's atomic model, which is given in the structure of atom in the chapter number 4. We will discuss about that, and we will discuss about the discovery of neutron, discovery of proton. Protons are shown, neutrons are shown, electrons are shown. About that we will study about it in chapter number 4, that is structure of atom. Then next, that is chemical bonding. Here we will study about the octet rule, that is Ashtakansa niyam. That means here when any compound formation takes place, then there is bond formation takes place, chemical bond formation takes place. Rasayanik bandha, that is chemical bond. That chemical bond is of different type. Covalent bond, that is sahasayuj bandha, and ionic bond, that is ionic bandha. NaCl, common salt, which contains ionic bond, as well as H2 gas, which contains between hydrogen and hydrogen atom, that is covalent bond is there. Different types of bonds which we'll study about that in chapter number chemical bonding, as well as we will learn about the electronic configuration of different atoms, which is given in those chapter, that is chapter number 4, that is structure of atom. We will study about the electronic configuration of different elements, that is sodium, which having atomic number 11. Therefore electronic configuration of sodium is 281, and the atomic number of chlorine is 17. Therefore electronic configuration of chlorine is 287. Then that is studied in the chapter number 4, that is structure of atom. Then the next chapter, that is redox reaction. The name itself indicates redox, red ox, that means reduction and oxidation process. All of you studied about that in 7th, 8th standard. Reduction, all of you studied about that. Kshapan and oxidation, oxidikaran. Those type of reactions all of you studied about it, and we will study about the redox reaction in this chapter, and there are few numerical examples, word examples about the redox reaction is given here. How to balance the chemical reactions, the examples which is based on to balance the chemical reactions, which is given in this chapter. Then next chapter, that is modern periodic table. The modern periodic table, which is given at the last but 2 page in this textbook. All of you have studied about the periodic table in 10th standard also. Then in modern periodic table, all of you have studied about the Mendeleev's periodic table as well as modern periodic table, and the elements which is given in the different blocks, S block, P block, D block and F block elements. And there are different groups, 1 to 18 groups are there, as well as 1 to 7 periods are there. Groups, all of you aware of that, 1 to 18 gun and 1 to 7 avartani, that is horizontal rows are there. as well as we will study about the few periodic properties of elements, that is periodic properties, atomic size, अणूंचा आकार, आयनिक साइज, आयनांचा आकार, as well as valency, संयोजा, metallic character, electropositivity, that is non-metallic character, that is electronegativity. We will discuss about that in this chapter, that is modern periodic table. Then next chapter, that is elements of group 1 and 2. Then in periodic table there are two groups, first group and second group. All of you studied about that. In first group there is hydrogen, nitrogen, lithium, nitrogen, potassium, caesium, francium and rubidium are there, and those are alkali metals, alkali dhatu. We will study about that in this chapter. As well as second group elements are there, that is alkaline earth metals, which is magnesium, calcium, barium, radium. Those are the alkaline earth metals. We will study about that all in chapter, that is elements of group 1 and group 2. Then the next chapter, elements of group 13, 14 and 15. That means, see here in periodic table there are 13th group in which boron, aluminium, those elements are there, as well as in 14th group in which their carbon is there, carbon family is there, that means elements which is related with the carbon family, as well as in 15th group there is nitrogen family, the elements of the nitrogen family which is given there. We will study about those all elements in this chapter. Then the next chapter, that is states of matter, that is substance, padartha, and states, avastha. Then matters are in different types. I have already discussed about that. There are generally three states of matters are there. There are generally three states of matters are there. Matter is in the form of solid, liquid or gaseous state. Then the properties of solid, liquid and gaseous substances, which we will discuss about that in states of matter. As well as we will study about the few properties which is related with the liquid state and gaseous state, and the few laws which is related with that discussed in this chapter. Then in the next chapter, that is adsorption and colloids. Here we will study about the different types of colloids and examples of those colloids. As well as in chemical equilibrium. In chemical equilibrium there is equilibrium attained between two different concepts, that is in water and vapor. Water, pani, vapors, waf. There is equilibrium attained between water and vapor. Like that chemical equilibrium, about that chemical equilibrium we will discuss about it in this chapter. As well as nuclear chemistry and radioactivity. See here in this chapter we will discuss about the nuclear fission, that is explosion, when bomb explosion takes place, that is bomb sport. At that time atom gets splitted and explosion takes place. It is because of nuclear fission. And properties which is related with the radioactive substances, that is all of you aware of that radioactive substances, that is uranium, radium. Those are the few radioactive substances, and the concept which is related with the radioactive substances we will discuss about that. All of you studied about that. The few radioactive substances which is discovered by Henry Becquerel, Marie Curie. Uranium is discovered by Henry Becquerel. Thorium and radium, which is discovered by Marie Curie. We will discuss about that in this chapter. Then the next chapter, which is very, very important, that is basic principles of organic chemistry. All of you studied about the organic compounds, methane, ethane, propane, as well as ethene, acetylene, as well as methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol. That means there are different organic compounds are there. We will study about that in this chapter. We will study about the organic compounds as well as functional groups, which you have studied in the 10th standard. That is, alcohol have dash OH group is the functional group, as well as aldehyde has dash CHO functional group. Those functional groups we will study about that organic compound and the basic concepts which is related with that organic compound in this chapter. Then next chapter, that is hydrocarbons. The hydrocarbons, which is generally alkanes, alkenes, alkynes and aromatic compounds. Benzene is one of the aromatic compound which is which having a ring structure, as well as alkanes. Methane, ethane, propane are the alkanes. Ethene, propene, butene are the alkenes. Ethyne, propyne, butane are the few examples of alkynes. We will study about the IUPAC nomenclature, structure, geometry of those hydrocarbons, as well as preparation method, chemical properties of those organic compounds takes place in hydrocarbons. Then chemistry in everyday life, that is the last topic, in which, see here, the name itself indicates that the chemical compounds which we used in everyday life, we will discuss about that. We generally use the oil, fats, food material, carbohydrate, proteins, vitamins, plastic, rubber. We will discuss about those material here. Soap, detergent, about that we will discuss here in this chapter. That is about the content syllabus of chemistry. You will remind those all concepts by watching this video again and again, and you should dictate the notes in your notebook. In next lecture we will start the first chapter. You should write the name of topic on the second page in your notebook, which is given here. Thank you.